Hi guys, in this video we're going to talk about adding and subtracting radicals. Let's talk about our first example. We have 2x plus 3x. In this example, we're trying to remember what we used to do when we add polynomials. And if you remember from the beginning of the year, we said that when we add polynomials, we look for like terms. And since 2x and 3x are like terms, what we need to do is to combine these two like terms. When you could combine 2x to 3x, the answer will be 5x. Let's take a look at this example now. We have 2x squared plus 3x. We have two monomials added together. These two monomials are not like terms, which means that we cannot combine them together. And this polynomial is in the simplest form. Let's take a look at this example now. We have 2 radical 3 plus 3 radical 3. When we work with radicals, we work with radicals the same way we work with polynomials. That means when we add radicals, we need to think of like terms or like terms that have the same radical. So in this case, we have 2 radical 3 and the radical here is radical 3, and we have 3 radical 3, and the radical here is 3 radical 3, which means that these two terms have the same radical, which means they are like terms and they can be combined together. When you add 2 radical 3 to 3 radical 3, you get 5 radical 3. Let's take a look at this example now. We have 2 radical 3 plus 3 radical 5. The first term has a radical 3, and the second term has a radical 5. These two radicals cannot be simplified anymore. These two radicals are in the simplest form, and since they are not like radicals, that means they cannot be combined together, which means that this expression is in the simplest form and we cannot simplify it more than that. Now let's look at this expression. We have radical 20 minus radical 45. Now, if we look at these two radicals, we see that they are not the same. Radical 20 is different than radical 45, but both can be simplified even more. Both radicals can be simplified into a simpler radical. So I'm going to start with radical 20. I know that radical 20 is the same as radical 4 times 5, which means that I can change radical 4 times 5 now into radical 4 times radical 5. I know that square root of 4 is 2, and radical 5 is in the simplest form. I cannot simplify it anymore. So the simplest form for radical 20 is 2 radical 5. Now, let's look at radical 45. I know that there is a perfect square that goes into 45. And the greatest perfect square that goes into 45 is 9. And I have 9 times 5 equal to 45. That means that I need to change radical 45 to radical 9 times 5. Now, this radical can be changed into a radical 9 times radical 5. I know that square root of 9 is 3, and radical 5 is in the simplest form. It cannot be simplified even more. So I end up with 2 radical 5 minus 3 radical 5. So now we have two like terms. They have the same radical, which means I can subtract now. 2 minus 3 is negative 1, so I end up with negative radical 5, and that's the final answer.